Hey my sugar plums, how we doing today? Welcome right back into the corner of the internet where we don't sugarcoat nothing, we don't water nothing down, and we don't hand out participation trophies to grown celebrities acting like they never been to therapy a single day in their lives. It's your girl Kiki Rose Delaney, and baby, before I even sit down and pour this cup, I got to say it up top so nobody comes for my neck later. Every single thing you're about to hear tonight is alleged, rumored, whispered, tweeted, or leaked. We ain't in a courtroom, we in the culture, so keep that in your pocket while we ride tonight, and let's roll. Now peep this, because the internet is on fire tonight and Cardi B is standing in the middle of the flames looking like she can't figure out which way the smoke is blowing. Cardi B stepped out with Maduka Okoy on what everybody is calling a soft launch dinner date, and within 48 hours the man's baby mama came sliding onto the timeline like a hurricane with a Wi-Fi connection, calling him a deadbeat dad, calling him a runaway father, calling him every name that don't fit on a birthday card. Meanwhile Cenat is posting Nicki Minaj love letters on his Instagram story like it's Valentine's Day in July, and MTV's Ammon Robert is standing on business defending Nicki Minaj against a whole army of podcast bros trying to squeeze one more viral clip out of her name for one more paycheck. Cardi B in trouble, Nicki Minaj under attack, Sexy Red catching stray bullets over a Birkin bag, sugar plums, we got a lot of ground to cover tonight, so let's crack this mess wide open and roll our sleeves all the way up. Let's slide right into Sexy Red and Drake first, because the internet completely lost its whole entire mind this week over one photograph and one very expensive shopping bag. Sexy Red and Drake got photographed side by side at the World Cup, and Drake, being Drake, dropped what looked like the price of a small studio apartment on a Birkin bag and handed it right to her without blinking. Peep this, a Birkin. Not a purse, not a handbag, not a knockoff from a corner in Soho, a Birkin. And the second those photos leaked, every gossip page on the planet slapped the same headline on the wall: Sexy Red is smashing Drake, Drake is buying Sexy Red because Drake is smashing Sexy Red, Drake buys Birkins for whoever he's currently smashing, and on and on and on until the whole timeline sounded like a broken record spinning in a thrift store on a Tuesday. Now let me tell you where I sit on this, because I've been watching this friendship long enough to have an opinion, and my opinion is, tell me I'm wrong, this friendship is real. If Drake and Sexy Red were actually doing what everybody keeps insisting they're doing, that story would have snapped in half by now. Nothing in this industry stays quiet longer than 6 months when it involves smashing. Nothing. Not one thing. Somebody's assistant always talks, somebody's stylist always tweets, somebody's ex always leaks the receipts on a random Sunday morning. So the fact that this Sexy Red and Drake friendship is still standing, still consistent, still showing up at World Cups and dinner tables and studio sessions, that tells me it ends up looking like exactly what it says on the tin. A friendship. And I know that's a wild concept in 2026, that a man and a woman can actually just be cool without a mattress being involved somewhere in the story, but do the math for me, Sexy Red hasn't gotten into beef with a single female rapper this whole cycle. Sexy Red is not fighting nobody. Sexy Red is not subbing nobody. Sexy Red is posted up in her studio making music, raising her son, and stacking her bag one deposit at a time. If y'all disagree, drop a comment and let me hear the argument, because I'm sitting right here with my cup ready and my eyebrow raised. Now sliding right into Cenat, because sugar plums, this is the part of the show where I get to hand out a gold star and pin it to somebody's chest with love. Cenat posted a picture on his Instagram story with Nicki Minaj's Moment for Life playing in the background, and the caption said, "We love you, she's family, the Psy family is beyond you, queen." And I'm sitting here like, Cenat, take a bow, because in an industry where everybody switches sides the second the wind changes direction, Cenat has never, not one single time, walked away from Nicki Minaj when the timeline came for her with pitchforks. Never. And that means something in a business built on convenience and cowardice and clout chasing. So Cenat, whatever streaming university you graduated from, you passed with honors as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to keep saying it every time somebody tries to twist your loyalty into something it's not. But peep this, the same night Cenat was showing love, MTV's Ammon Robert was on a podcast standing on 10 toes defending Nicki Minaj from another one of these tired little smear campaigns that keep popping up like weeds after a rainstorm. Everybody in the podcast game wants a viral moment, everybody wants that one clip that trends on X for 48 hours, and the easiest ladder to climb is standing on Nicki Minaj's shoulders. It's lazy, it's cheap, and it's exhausting to watch grown adults do it in public. Ammon Robert clocked it, called it out, and dragged the whole conversation back to the truth, that a 15-second clip got sliced out of a Nicki Minaj interview, chopped up like a bad DJ mix, and blasted across every blog on the internet to make it look like Nicki Minaj was going after gay and trans kids when the actual question she was answering was about advice to little boys. That's it. That's the whole crime. Nicki Minaj said little boys should be great and go do great things, and half the internet turned that into a hate crime worthy of a congressional hearing. Let's keep it 100, sugar plums. Nicki Minaj has been in this game for close to 20 years, and every single time Nicki Minaj opens her mouth on any subject that's remotely touchy, the same crew of professional outrage merchants slides into the studio to remix her words like a bootleg mixtape. And every single time, the actual footage tells a completely different story than the headline. Nicki Minaj always has the right message, the problem is y'all hate the sender. Do the math for me. If you don't like Nicki Minaj personally, that's your business, that's your right, that's between you and your therapist, but stop pretending Nicki Minaj committed a felony every single time she says something you didn't like. And listen, we're living in a time right now where more and more kids are coming forward talking about how they regret transitioning too young, kids who wish somebody had slowed the conversation down instead of speeding it up, kids who wish their parents had asked one more question before signing one more form. So Nicki Minaj wasn't wrong for saying let boys be boys, let girls be girls, let kids be kids, and let parents parent. No cap, all the way, no chaser. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and roll with me because we're just getting warm and the real tea is still boiling on the stove. Next up on our plate, Cardi cakes. And baby, I don't even know where to start with Cardi cakes tonight, because this whole situation with Maduka Okoy is a whole other level of chaotic that we did not ask for, did not order, and definitely did not tip on. Cardi B is a mother. Cardi B is a business owner. Cardi B built a hair care empire from the ground up with her own two hands. Cardi B is a Grammy-winning rapper who came out of a strip club and turned herself into a household name that gets said in the same breath as legends who've been in the game for 30 years. And yet, every single time Cardi B picks a partner, we end up staring at the screen with our hands on our foreheads wondering how the same woman keeps ending up in the same movie with a different actor and the same tragic ending on repeat. Peep the roster. Offset, a serial cheater with a whole crochet situation and a fanfiction chapter we still don't have closure on to this very day. Then Cardi B leveled up, or at least that's what the internet told us to believe, and Cardi B rolled out in public with Stefon Diggs, a man with more baby mamas than career touchdowns and a lawsuit stapled to his forehead about a personal chef who apparently was not really cooking anything you can eat. Then, as if the universe wasn't done testing Cardi B's patience, she blessed us this week with Maduka Okoy, a man whose baby mama came out swinging within 48 hours calling Maduka Okoy a deadbeat, calling Maduka Okoy a coward, calling Maduka Okoy every kind of ain't nothing you can call a grown man in the year 2026. Let me pull up a chair and say what nobody wants to say out loud on a public platform. Cardi Cakes has a type. Her type is chaos. Her type is a man with 3 baby mamas, 2 lawsuits, and 1 Instagram model in his DMs waiting for him to slide back through. Her type is a hurricane in a Rolex. And every single time Cardi B picks one of these hurricanes, the whole timeline stands there watching the trees bend and pretending they didn't see the storm coming from 3 states away. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait right here with my cup. Because y'all keep letting Cardi B do this in public and then acting shocked when the roof blows clean off the house. Now here's the part that's really going to have y'all in the comments losing your minds, because I'm about to say something that I never in a million years thought I would ever say out loud on this channel or any other channel. Offset, ends up looking like the least dangerous storm in the whole Cardi B hurricane season. Take a good long look at the men Cardi B has been publicly linked to over the last 5 years and lay them out on a table like a hand of cards. Offset cheated, yes. Offset had a whole online scandal, yes. Offset made Cardi B cry on Instagram Live more than one time on more than one occasion, yes, we all remember. But Offset was not out here in courtrooms fighting strangulation allegations. Offset was not out here catching lawsuits from grown men accusing him of sexual assault. Offset was not out here dodging domestic violence rumors involving women and boys in the same breath. And that last sentence right there is the one that stopped me dead in my kitchen when I first heard it, because peep this, Maduka Okoy allegedly has a history of putting hands on women and, according to some very loud whispers, on young men too. Allegedly. Every single word of that is allegedly, sugar plums, but the receipts online right now are getting louder by the hour and the timeline is not slowing down for anybody. Do the math for me. If we lining up all three of these hurricanes side by side, Offset, Stefon Diggs, Maduka Okoy, Offset ends up looking like the calmest, most manageable storm on the whole radar. And I hate to say it, I really do, because Offset was no angel by any stretch of the imagination, and I have dragged Offset on this channel more times than I can count on both hands and both feet combined. But Cardi Cakes, if you're picking dogs, you at least should have kept the dog who only chews the couch instead of trading him in for the one who bites the mailman and then bites the neighbor and then bites the little girl selling cookies on the corner in her Girl Scout uniform. Let me pause the drag for a second and put my big sister hat on, because sugar plums, I love Cardi B. I really do. I've been rocking with Cardi B since the love and hip-hop days, since the regular, degular, schmegular days, since before the diamonds and the Grammys and the sold-out arenas. And what I want for Cardi B is what I want for every woman watching this video right now who keeps picking the wrong man over and over and over again on repeat. Take a break. Get off the apps. Get out of the DMs. Go home, put your kids to bed, run yourself a bath, light a candle, open a book, call a therapist, and love on yourself for 6 whole months without a man attached to your hip like a Bluetooth speaker on default settings. That's what I would recommend. But I know for a lot of women, and let's keep it 100, sugar plums, I said what I said, a lot of women don't know how to be by themselves. They fear the quiet. They fear the mirror. They fear the sound of their own footsteps in an empty apartment on a Sunday afternoon. And if that's the case, sis, at the absolute minimum, stay with the dog you already trained instead of adopting a new one from a shelter that clearly has a warning label taped to the front of the cage in red permanent marker with 3 exclamation points. Because peep this hurricane forecast, Maduka Okoy is not walking into this relationship as a free man emotionally, financially, or spiritually. The paper trail shows that Maduka Okoy has been going back and forth with the same baby mama since 2020. That's 6 years of on again, off again, block again, unblock again, delete the photos again, repost the photos again nonsense. 6 years. And Cardi Cakes, if you think you're going to walk into that emotional weather system and clear the skies with your smile and your Grammy trophies, you have not been paying attention to the last 6 years of celebrity relationship history. Maduka Okoy is going to be sitting in your living room watching a movie with you while texting her the same night on a burner phone. And she is going to be sitting in her living room texting Maduka Okoy back while cooking dinner for his kids in a kitchen you paid the utilities on. That is the loop you are about to jump into with both feet and a running start. And here's the part that's really going to sting, sugar plums, because there's another layer to this that nobody wants to talk about out loud on a Wednesday night. Cardi B has some real, deep, unresolved daddy issues that Cardi B has been carrying around like a designer bag since she was a teenager growing up in the Bronx, and every therapist watching this video right now knows exactly what I'm about to say. When a young woman grows up without a stable father figure, she often subconsciously seeks out relationships that recreate the chaos she was raised in, because chaos feels like home. Chaos feels safe. Chaos feels familiar. Peace feels weird. Peace feels boring. Peace feels wrong. Peace feels like a foreign language your body was never taught to speak at any point in your development. And that is exactly why Cardi B keeps ending up in these situations with these men in this same repeating pattern. Cardi B is not picking chaos because chaos is fun. Cardi B is picking chaos because chaos is the only weather system she knows how to survive in when the sky opens up. Now I want y'all to slow down before the comments section explodes into World War III, because I am not making fun of Cardi B. I am rooting for Cardi B. I have been rooting for Cardi B since Bodak Yellow was blowing up the club speakers back in the day. What I am saying, and I am saying it with love in my heart and tea in my cup, is that a woman with this much money, this much influence, and this much power has direct access to the best therapists on the planet at any hour of the day or night, and there is absolutely no reason on earth Cardi B should still be running the same relationship playbook that she was running when she was living in the Bronx broke with no options. Cardi Cakes, if you're watching this right now, I love you, and I want you to sit down with somebody with a PhD hanging on their wall and unpack every single one of these patterns before you sign one more lease with one more hurricane in a designer suit. Peep this though, while everybody was busy dragging Cardi B, the internet took a very interesting little side trip that I have to address because it's been sitting in my mind all week long like a splinter I can't get out with a pair of tweezers. Somebody in the timeline made the point that Stefon Diggs side pieces are not actually ugly. Sugar plums, I laughed so hard I choked on my tea and had to hit the pause button on this whole recording for a solid 4 minutes to catch my breath. Because the whole running joke online is that when a rich, famous, powerful man cheats, he must be cheating with somebody clearly beneath his current partner in the looks department. Some troll under a bridge. Some background extra from a bad Lifetime movie. Some woman with 2 heads and a lazy eye and a criminal record. But the truth is, and let's keep it 100, sugar plums, when a man with money and power has options, he is not choosing one option, he is choosing all the options. If a man has 2 beautiful women on his roster at the same time, he is not selecting the beautiful one and leaving the beautiful one on the bench collecting dust. He is playing both of them at once. That's just math. That's just simple math. That's just the way that particular game is played in that particular league at that particular level. And that same math applies to Maduka Okoy, which is exactly why Cardi B needs to sit all the way down and think about what she's walking into with both eyes wide open. Maduka Okoy's baby mama is not some background character in this movie. Maduka Okoy's baby mama is a whole main character with her own storyline, her own following, her own audience, her own receipts folder that's probably 3 gigabytes deep, and her own team of ride-or-die commenters ready to war for her online. This woman is not going to disappear. This woman is not going to slink into the shadows because Cardi B showed up with a bigger following and a Grammy on the mantle. This woman is going to fight for Maduka Okoy in public, in private, in the courtroom, in the comments section, on Instagram Live, on TikTok Live, and on every talk show that will book her a plane ticket and a hotel room. And Cardi B is going to be right in the middle of that whirlwind trying to figure out how she got there and how she gets out without losing another piece of herself. Tell me I'm wrong. Because I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my tea leaves. I feel it in the way this timeline is already vibrating like a phone left on a wooden table at 3 in the morning. This is going to be a mess, sugar plums. This is going to be a mess of the highest order. This is going to be a mess that ends up on the front page of every gossip site for the next 12 months minimum. And I don't say that to be shady, I don't say that to be messy, I say that because I've been watching celebrity relationships long enough to know what a Category 5 looks like on the horizon before it even makes landfall on the coastline. Now let me wrap this up before I get too fired up and start naming names I shouldn't be naming and dragging people I shouldn't be dragging on a school night. Here's exactly where I land tonight, sugar plums. Sexy Red and Drake, that's a real friendship, leave it alone, keep it moving, find something else to talk about at brunch on Sunday. Nicki Minaj, protect that woman at all costs, and stop letting 15-second clips run the narrative, because every single time you look at the full interview the story shifts 180 degrees in the opposite direction. Cenat, Ammon Robert, the both of you are doing the Lord's work out here in these streets, and I see you, and Nicki Minaj sees you, and every real one sees you. Cardi B, sit down, love on yourself, hire a therapist, hire a bodyguard, hire a life coach, hire a nutritionist, hire a spiritual advisor, hire whoever you need to hire on retainer, but please, 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 do not sign any more leases with any more hurricanes until you understand why you keep signing them in the first place. And Maduka Okoy, the internet has receipts, the internet has patience, and the internet has time on its hands like never before in history. If half of what's floating around out there about Maduka Okoy ends up being true, this is not going to end the way you think it's going to end for you or for Cardi B. Now before I let y'all go tonight, peep this, I want you to do 3 things for me right now. Number 1, smash that like button because the algorithm has been playing in my face this whole week like I owe it money, and I need y'all to fight back for me right there in the trenches. Number 2, drop a comment down below and tell me straight up, are you Team Cardi B should walk away from Maduka Okoy right now tonight, or Team Cardi B should give Maduka Okoy a fair chance to prove himself? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm ready. Bring the arguments, bring the receipts, bring the essays, because I read every comment even when I don't reply to every comment. Number 3, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications with that little bell in the corner, because tomorrow night I'm coming back with a full breakdown of Maduka Okoy's baby mama's Instagram receipts, and I promise you sugar plums, you do not want to miss what I found buried in the comments of a post from all the way back in 2022. That's all I'm going to say for now. That's all I'm going to say on the record. Don't ask me any more questions until the video drops tomorrow at 8. Roll with the crew, protect your peace, keep your tea hot, and I will see you right back here on the very next one. It's your girl Kiki Rose Delaney, signing off from my little corner of the internet where the truth gets told and the sugar stays sweet no matter what. Stay blessed, sugar plums. Stay dangerous. Stay watching. Bye.